When we get tattoos, often it is for us to feel more beautiful or handsome or strong, or to hide physical defects that we don't feel comfortable with. One of my pet peeves when it comes to tattoos is when I see a tattoo that's placed badly, sized badly, or just doesn't flow with the body. A lot of my tattoos are fairly large, and having a larger tattoo allows me to create that illusion of a shape and a flow. We all have body insecurities. I have a bunch of body insecurities, and if a tattoo can make me feel like that insecurity is faded out a little bit more, I want my clients to have the same feeling, because my tattoos did that to me. For today's tattoo, she emailed me, and I have my assistant always asks my future clients to send some of my older work. So she sent me a bunch of pictures of this particular style I've done before, previous flowers, previous skulls that I've done. So it was really easy for me to understand that this is exactly what she wants. She also very clearly said, I want a skull and I want flowers. And from there, it's pretty easy. I recommended getting roses because this particular rose I'm doing her is what you more often would see in the wild. I have a male mannequin at home, and then I have me a female mannequin of sorts. And I test all those designs on myself, or if it's for a male, I will test it on the mannequin. So I'll kind of know the flow and a rough size that it's gonna be on. So when she came here, I already had the size figured out based on the photograph that I had seen of her body. So pretty much we already knew it was right size, right everything, it was already drawn out. And how I tattoo when it comes to line work, I kind of tattoo like a printer. So it just goes tick, 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 tick. So I don't do the major outline first and then fill it in. I just kind of go as it goes, because the skin starts swelling up a little bit and it gets sensitive. So I want to make sure that I finish what I start before I go to the next part, so that it's more comfortable for her. And as I do 9-hour days, like, it's very manageable for the client to do that, because there's no back and forth. So I specialize in single needle line work style. There's a little bit of 3 needle there too, but mainly single needle. It's line work based. So all the shading comes from mainly putting lines next to each other. Sometimes I will put a little bit of stippling there just to bring certain elements front a little bit, but the whole thing mainly is lines. I've always been really interested in line work based designs, not in tattooing, but in illustrations. So if you look at Victorian style illustrating in botanical and anatomical art, you will see that style. I work in a very organic form, plants, animals, things that you kind of have a rough idea what you're doing, but a lot of the actual design and detailing of it comes as you tattoo. So originally I loved woodcut carvings. My tattoos on my body are a good example of that. If I took my pants off, you might see better examples, but I'm keeping them on. But it's a lot of medieval illustrations, and how they were done back in the day, in the beginning of book press, was a wooden plate, and you would carve an image to it, you would rub the ink on it, and then put it on paper. And that's why the lines are a little bit thicker and sometimes a little jaggedy. And then as etching and pressing of images gradually became more advanced, you would start doing the same process but on a metal plate. So you were able to etch and carve little thin lines in there, and that style of illustrating is what eventually I kind of evolved into. When it comes to how I process requests, there's 2 different pathways. There's custom designs, which is literally that, it's very custom. The second path is portfolio designs, which means that you get to tell me 3 things you like and 3 things you don't like. Based on that, I'll create something. You don't get to see it on the day, and you're kind of just getting something based on that. So either we just have a long discussion about what works and what doesn't, or you just give me freedom to do what I kind of want to do. Inspiration for references, usually that's the interwebs. Don't we all just like love Google? I also live next to Huntington Botanical Gardens, and sometimes I just go there with a camera and just take photos of the flowers there. I also have a giant yard with a bunch of flowers growing on there, so I might do that. But usually just finding pictures online, and then you just manipulate those to create your own version. I just got asked what are the similar artists that I enjoy that are similar to me, and I am drawing a blank because I don't think I really follow artists that do similar fine line stuff like I do. I do it for multiple reasons. It's because I'm really harsh on myself when it comes to tattooing, and I almost compare myself. Obviously, you want to follow people that you think are good, so you're only seeing the best of the best of the best. And you're comparing yourself to those people instead of like understanding that there's a whole umbrella that we all fit underneath. I mainly follow people that do different kind of styles than I do. Honestly, I just follow cars and cats on social media because I like cars and cats. I think when it comes to that whole feeling of like not feeling good enough, I feel like a lot of artists have that, and I think that's also the motivating force for all of us to get better. And especially coming here to inked and tattooing, and then having some of the other artists come and just be like, oh my god, like how is your lines that consistent? Or working on other people that have these insane collections of tattoos from all these artists that you're like, oh my god, how they're that good, and then they come to you and get tattooed by you. So regardless of how harsh anybody is to themselves, is like having those moments of small victories when you do realize that you're succeeding in things, especially if your clients keep coming to you. It's like you are good in what you do and taking pride in it, and just having healthy amount of skepticism towards your own craft to become better. The one thing that I get asked by my clients all the time is, what is something that you want to tattoo that you haven't tattooed yet? And I tattoo what I want to tattoo all the time. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I love flowers, I like birds, I like animals. I'm doing what I want to do. There isn't like something super crazy all of a sudden that I want to try out. I'm happy to do those tattoos as well. I just kind of really like what I'm doing right now. I'm super happy with it.